Now, here's a situation you might be all too familiar with. You're lounging on the couch or sitting in bed and your dog walks over, turns around and plops down with their back to you. Maybe they're sitting tall, alert ear scanning the room. Maybe they're lying down, tail curled to the side, spine flush against your legs. Whatever the position, one thing is clear. They've turned their back on you. Not just metaphorically, but literally. To a human, this might feel a little like a cold shoulder. Kind of rude even. But to a dog, it's something entirely different. 1. It's a sign of absolute trust. First and foremost, when your dog sits or lies with their back to you, they're essentially showing you a level of trust that goes far beyond words. Because in the animal kingdom, turning your back on someone, especially a creature that is so much bigger than you, is a real act of vulnerability. Because it means you're letting your guard down. Think about it. If you want to live in the wild and it was full of animals that could not only murder you, but actively want to, you'd always be nervous of what was behind you. You'd never want to turn your back on anyone or anything for fear that they might jump you. Now, not to shock you, but your dog is an animal, and their ancestors' days as a wild animal, and all they learned from those experiences is still rippling through their DNA. Your precious pooch never ever wants to turn their back on someone they don't really know for fear of what might happen. So if your doggo is willing to turn their back on you, it means they're not worried you'll hurt them, sneak up on them, or betray them. Turning their back on you is kind of their way of saying something like, I feel completely safe with you, or I don't need to keep an eye on you, or you're my protector, I can relax. It is a quiet, understated display of loyalty and comfort. Number 2, they're standing guard for you. My new favorite catchphrase on this channel is, you can take the dog out of the wild, but you can't take the wild out of the dog. They were born to be pack animals, to be loyal guardians. And even if they now have a cozy and cuddly life thanks to you, those instincts never really go away. For that reason, they might be sitting or lying with their back to you because they're watching your six. If you're unfamiliar with that phrase, it's a military term that basically means watch your back. So if a dog is watching your six, they're keeping an eye out for you and making sure you're safe. Look at me dishing out bonus facts that aren't even about dogs. Don't say I don't treat you. In dog packs, there's a natural instinct to protect one another. In these wild packs, a dog turning their back on another member does not mean anyone is being ignored or disrespected. It simply means they're making themselves the barrier between the friend they want to protect and whatever's out there. And hey, in your home, you are the pack. In these moments, your dog might be thinking, hey, I've got this side. You just relax, buddy old pal. Nothing's going to get you unless it goes through me first. This behavior is especially common in dogs who are naturally alert, protective, or take their role as family guardian very seriously. And there are a few telltale signs that this may be applicable to your dog when they turn their back to you. Is their body alert? Are their ears perked? Are their eyes dancing around the room, scouting for trouble? While their body remains firmly planted, do sudden noises cause your dog to softly growl? Well, if all this sounds familiar, your dog might simply be protecting you. Someone should really tell them the big, scary monsters of the outside world do not exist in your living room. So next time your dog sits like a proud and fierce sentinel with their back to you, remember, there's a chance they're watching over you. Number 3, they're claiming you as theirs. But in a sweet way, I promise. You all know dogs are territorial creatures. Or at least I hope you know that. I mention it enough. But the thing is, the conceit of them being territorial creatures implies aggression. It sounds like they slam flags down in land that doesn't belong to them, and snarl at anyone and everyone who dares challenge that. But dogs are far more nuanced creatures than you might think. They have tools in their arsenal beyond aggression. Sometimes lying with their back to you is a non-aggressive way of marking you as their person. Think of it as being kind of like a love stamp, especially if there is contact. When your dog rubs up against you, leans their back against your legs, or even just rests their weight on you, they're engaging in something called scent exchange, which is exactly what it sounds like. Your skin, clothes, and furniture become laced with their scent, And when your dog rests their back against you, they're comforted by your smell, gifting you a bit of theirs and blending your scents as part of a sort of symbolic bond, creating the family stench almost. Given how important smell is to dog connection, think of their desire to mingle their scent with yours as being sort of like creating a family WhatsApp group. It's their way of saying, you belong to me and I belong to you. We're family now. Number 4. It's a leftover instinct from puppyhood. A little earlier, I was talking about how turning their back on you might be a throwback to their days of being a wild animal, but it might be a throwback to a slightly more recent time, their own puppyhood. Think back to when your dog was a cute little puppy. Before they were separated from their litter, before they became your new bestie, they used to sleep, snuggle up in a pile with their litter mates. If you look at a great big cuddle puddle of litter mates having a snooze, you'll notice something. Puppies often sleep with their backs pressed against each other for warmth, comfort, and bonding. As your dog grows up, guess what? You take the place of their litter mates. For this reason, some dog experts, by which I mean humans who are experts in dogs, not dogs who are experts, think dogs might sometimes turn their back on their owner because they are recreating that early feeling of safety and connection. It is an instinctual behavior that lives deep in their brainstem, a way of treating you like a sibling, and having a brotherly bond with your dog is a very special thing indeed. Number 5. They're giving you space by staying close. We all know that dogs love cuddles and affection, but if you don't, then this is yet another sign you need to watch some more of our videos. Many dogs will jump up into the arms of their pet parent or curl up in their laps. That probably sounds very familiar to you. But don't let this fool you into thinking that they are consistent cuddle magnets, which would be a great name for a band. Dogs are incredibly emotionally intelligent. They can even be more emotionally intelligent than some humans. This means that they can sense that you need a little space now and then. They can read the room almost. But in these moments, they might still want to be near you. By sitting with their back to you, they avoid eye contact, which some dogs interpret as intense or confrontational, while still being within reach. It's a subtle, respectful balance. It means they're getting what they want by being with you. But they are respecting the fact that you might not be in the mood for full-on dog time right now. It's like they're saying, I'll be here, I won't bother you, but I've got your back. Or, we don't need to talk, I just want to be close. If your precious pooch is prone to turning their back on you when you're feeling down, I'm willing to bet that's what's going on. Not that there's a booking agent taking that bet, that would be mad. It's also very common in older dogs or dogs who've been with you a long time. This is because they know your rhythms. They've become one with you. They get when things seem different or off, or when you're acting like you need to be alone. This is a weird comparison. But hear me out. It's like when an old couple have been married for decades, they just get one another on a guttural level. It goes beyond words. An old man can just feel when his wife might want to be left alone, or vice versa. So he'll keep his mouth shut. Maybe do a crossword or something instead of bothering her. Do old men do crosswords? I don't know. If your dog has been in your life for a long time, they get you more than you think. They may even get you more than you get you. They know when you need quiet companionship instead of face-to-face affection. It's low-key loyalty and it's beautiful. And at the risk of sounding like a bit of a loser, I kind of wish more of my human friends were capable of this instead of constantly asking, "Are you all right?" over and over. One of the many things we could all learn from dogs. For one reason or another, it's basically never a bad sign when your dog turns their back on you, no matter how awkward and rude it might seem from a human point of view. There are actually a few other rather surprising things that dogs do to their favorite human, and this next video will reveal some of them.